Shifting focus, Delhi's Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has accorded sanction to prosecute author Arundhati Roy and a former professor in Kashmir under the UAPA Act. Both have been accused of allegedly making provocative speeches at a conference organized under the banner of quote-unquote Azadi in Central University, Kashmir in 2010. Now, the issues discussed at the conference allegedly propagated the separation of Kashmir from India. The FIR, in fact, in the matter was registered on a complaint made by Kashmiri activist Sushil Pandit back in 2010. CNN News 18's Rahul Shivshankar spoke exclusively to this Kashmiri activist that we just spoke about. His name is Sushil Pandit, on whose complaint the initial FIR was in fact registered. Listen into what he has to say to CNN News 18.
Mr. Pandit, you were the initial filer of this case, the complainant. What do you make of this 14 years later?
Yeah, imagine, I had given up all hope after running around for several years, first to the police station, then to the courts, then to the individuals who were investigating, then to the courts to have it transferred to the crime branch because local police wasn't interested, then to crime branch asking them to finalize the charge sheet. And when charge sheet was finalized and I was told it's a matter of time, as soon as we get a go-ahead, we will file it. It was never filed. It never saw the light of day. I thought perhaps it needed a change in the government. Only then the case would move. Government changed, new prime minister, new home minister.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing.
Well,
So 14 years, I don't know who the crime, the basic crime apart.
well,
that ought
14
to be
years too
prosecuted.
late then, Mr. Pandit, I
Yes.
suppose. Yeah, 14 years.
Yes.
Wonder why it's being resurrected now. It makes no sense. Anyhow, viewers, that's it. That's really all from me.
अभी पता चला है कि एलजी साहब ने अरुंधति रॉय, जो आमूमन अलगाववादी जुबान बोलती है, उनको प्रोसिक्यूट करने के लिए सैंक्शन दे दिया है। परंतु जो कानूनी कार्रवाई और कानूनी प्रक्रिया है, उसे होते देख कांग्रेस और उसके इकोसिस्टम में इतनी बिलबिलाहट क्यों है? वो क्यों अब दुख के आंसू रो रहे हैं? क्या कांग्रेस और उसके इकोसिस्टम ने ठान लिया है कि जो भी अलगाववादी भाषा बोलेगा उसके साथ कांग्रेस पार्टी खड़ी हो जाएगी? कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने तो 26/11 के हत्यारे कसाब की भी पैरवी कर दी। कांग्रेस ने पाकिस्तान को पूंछ और पुलवामा पर भी क्लीन चिट दे दिया।
In a case that dates back to 2010, which was, of course, brought against her for making an alleged speech at the Press Club of India, which is deemed to have been anti-national. She called for freedom of Kashmir, from what we are reading. And viewers, 10 years or 14 years after that event, the LG has said that yes, we're going to prosecute now, or we give sanction for the prosecution of Arundhati Roy under the UAPA, the Anti-Terror Act, of course. Now, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, what do you make of this?
Rahul, this is exactly the kind of misuse of UAPA that, ends up reducing its legal credibility. It's a good law. It shouldn't be used like this. This speech was, first of all, made 14 years back. Sure, we don't have a timeout period in India and sunset clause and things like that. I understand that
And it's
perfectly.
important to note that it was made when the UPA was in power, and the UPA slapped all those sedition and all sorts of crazy
all those
cases.
sedition charges on them.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, this one was at least let off. Do you remember what when Chidambaram was Home Minister, what he did to the protesters outside Kudangulam nuclear reactor?
6,000
They
sedition
were beaten
cases.
black and blue, and there were some close to 10,000 cases, if I'm not mistaken, a few thousand cases of sedition that were slapped. But this is the classic. I don't know why they are doing this. It's not a good, when this lady is irrelevant today. She was irrelevant even then, despite her great, claim to relevance and her third-rate writing. All she's had is one book. One successful book.
That's,
they've all been failures. So she's irrelevant.
Okay.
It caused no violence.
Let me bring in Rupashri Nanda on that point. Let's just get a sense of why this has been done 14 years later. Rupashri Nanda, any idea?
Well, the complaint was already made by a person called Pandit on 28/10/2010, and after that, the Lieutenant Governor had actually granted sanction under Section 196 of CRPC